My name is Paul O'Shaughnessy. I'm colonel in the regiment, former commanding officer, and we're here to talk today about the 225th anniversary Battle of Lexington and Concord, or reenactment of the Battle of Lexington and Concord, known at the time as Battle Road 2000, or BR2K in abbreviation. Battle Road 2000 was the 225th anniversary reenactment of the Battle of Lexington and Concord. It involved the battle in Lexington Green, events up at the bridge, and then a reenactment, although we didn't use the word at the time, of the retreat down through the National Park, then all the way through Lexington Center, stopping at Monroe Tavern for about a half hour, and then finishing at Tower Park in the eastern part of Lexington. It took about 12 hours to get everything in, and everyone was pretty tired at the end of the day. There were estimates around 100,000 people in the town, and this is including probably Lexington and Concord. There were, of course, it felt like there were thousands of militiamen, and I think there could have been. There probably were well over 1,000 militia that were involved, and I would estimate, I think it was probably around 1,500, maybe as many as 2,000.
How many regulars did you say there were?
600. So we loaded into these deuce-and-a-half trucks that were owned by the National Guard, and they drove us up to somewhere outside of Concord Center. I don't remember exactly where, but we marched into Concord Center on the Lexington Road. And as we did so, the soldiers began to disperse. Some of them were occupying the town. We started looking in shops and places. There were a lot of free donuts handed out, things of that sort. And people knew that this was coming. But we were searching in cellars and looking on windows and things like that. And as we were doing this, I realized that we had a whole bunch of British soldiers in the road in front of the Wright Tavern. I had my Pitcairn with me, and I was playing Colonel Smith, and we had the graveyard was right there. I went, "Oh, quick, do you have a spyglass?" And he said, "Yes, I do." I ran up there, we got up, and he looked through the spyglass like this, and I stood next to him, and we got somebody to take a picture with the soldiers in the background, in imitation of the Doolittle print of Concord Center. A contingent then went off to the North Bridge. There we did mutual firing from both sides and things of that sort. And then there was a pass-by and officers reviewing the troops as they came back from the bridge.
Both sides facing each other. This is a crucial moment. British have been firing, Americans uncertain what to do. Ripping volley from the American defense. Troops were on the road. The Lexington and Concord alarm is being heard. The American army is being formed. The American war for independence is on its way. Further come, and look at the troops. We hope as the word goes by and get a chance to talk to these men, let them explain their gear and their weapons and what they have. What things alive with men that made the commitment, that fought and died and sacrificed. To make that statue was a young handyman who never done anything like that before in his life. He entered the contest and he created the Minuteman that's so important to us today. And the interesting thing is he went on to become one of the great sculptors and creative arts in the history of our country. And the sculptors use the tools, but he still has his laboratory where he did his work. You know, all the different Minuteman work and his other proud achievement was the greatest statue of Abraham Lincoln to see today in the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The film of Thaddeus Chester French. The commanders named the other companies for the service of America, the years following conflict, and the
and then we all joined up on Monument Street where the rail cut goes across there, and then went down that rail cut and back and crossed over through the cemetery that is alongside Bedford Road, the old Bedford Road. So that concluded that section of it. And at that time, again, I was able to look back across a wide expanse of field as the soldiers were coming out of the rail cut, and it was just amazing. It just went on. It must have been at least a quarter mile, if not more.